Ahoy! Shall we prepare for a lengthy, amazing kayak adventure? I'm ready. Let's do it. You're gonna need a table with one of these legs. Most tables have them. If they don't, let me in on that intellectual property. I'd love a floating table for my damn self. Get yourself underneath the table. Regular dining height would be excellent. When you sit in front of it, about eye height is nice. Of course, taller, lower, anything's gonna work, but try to find something pretty standard height. You're gonna sit underneath it like so. We also need a long sock or any object about this width, about a foot long that you can hold like so. This could be a belt, this could be a t-shirt. Got my iPad right here, you can use that. Anything we can hold and maintain some width. And then you need a small glass. I have a little ounce pour of my favorite fitness beverage right here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and cheers you right off the bat. So those three things. We're underneath the table. We have our foot long object, and we have our small open topped glass, ideally not breakable. Fill it up with something. Fill it up with some fluid for the last one. This is brief. This is a 12-minute workout, and we'll finish with a 2-minute stretch. Today's skills and endurance are all around the hip joints right here, and the ability to keep our spine supported while we're in this L sit for hours, as we're going to be stuck in that kayak for a very long time. That's where our fatigue fails first generally, is around that lower spine, hip connection, hip flexor, abs, lower back, psoas, all that good stuff. That's what we're going to target today. Let's get right into it. I'm sitting underneath that table. Right now, the leg is about mid-calf for me, but we should arrange ourselves so that we can have a flat, tall back, and we can reach out, we can grab that leg like so. That's where our first alignment is going to be. Notice these right angles. Right angles, like so. And I just need to be able to grab that table leg. That's our first position. Move is simple, and of course, the height of your table will influence where you need to sit a little bit. I'll show you what I mean. Every time we get to this position, I want you to focus on getting rid of the curvature and instead forcing a little arch, a little extra arch, a little beyond flat. In reality, we're going to end up a little curved by the end of this, as we'll be fatigued. But think very much belly button out, belly button towards thighs, and not reaching forward with the flexed spine for any of these stretches. So get nice and tall, and this is our standard for the entire workout. Quick workout. Movement one is I reach out and I grab that rail, and with my abs flexing and with my quads flexing, I'm going to bring my chest towards the leg, my chin towards the table. What I'm not doing is rounding the spine. Like I said, that's the standard for the entire workout. Tall back, bring the chin towards the table. And if I have straight knees, I'm going to get a double hamstring stretch and a little bit of a calf stretch too with the high toes. Come in, sit back, find our tailbone balance. And now I'm going to, with both big toes, tap the underside of the table. Bring myself down, return, tall back, bring myself in for that stretch. And each time I want to go deeper, sit back in the tailbone, find the balance. At this point, of course, my spine rounds to get that boat. And I tap the top of the table. Bring myself down, stretch, tailbone balance, hip flexor work. Alternating between those two positions at your own pace and your own time for 3 minutes. Join me. Let's get it. Woo! 3 minutes is up. Pull to get the double hamstring stretch of the flat back. Find your tailbone balance. Mark the underside of the table. This is all about control and the double hamstring stretch with a flat back. Tap, tap. Addressing those hip joints, as they will fatigue first, undoubtedly. during our long kayak excursion. Let each reach forward go a little deeper into the stretch feeling. Ideally, you should be able to bring your forehead to the edge of the table while you have a flat spine, of course. Fairly calm but consistent pace. And force a new level of stretch with every single rep of the crank forward. About halfway through, starting to feel the hip flexors warm up and the hamstring groups get nice and limber. Flex the quads, tall chest. Don't round that lower back. Best you can, prevent some rounding. Tall and crank it. Up, tap the table. Crank it. Tailbone balance. Tabletop. You may likely scoot yourself somewhere, probably away from the table. If you need to reset at any moment, just do it. Double hamstring. Tailbone balance. Hip flexor work. Double stretch. And up. And a nice calm building of hot fatigue in those hip flexors and deep abs. And a good accumulated limbering of the hamstring groups. And control. Always. If you get into this precisely, you should already have a nice little fire started right here. 15 seconds, and we'll move on to a very similar move addressing the same area in our bodies. Relax. Good. I want the same lineup. So I'll scoot a little bit forward. I want to be able to reach that table leg. Right angle, right angle, right angle, like so. And another right angle right there. Toes up, always. Get that calf stretch. Flex the quads. Now, I'm gonna grab the leg, and once I get a grip, I'm gonna push down, kind of like lifting up my body by pushing straight down to the pinky side of my grip. Push down. Drive the leg into the floor some more. That's going to give me lift and help me support the flat back position. So if we're stuck here, drive down with the leg, and it's going to help us maintain that strong flat back posture. Still feeling the double hamstring stretch. Flex the toes up. One leg at a time, we're going to lift and replace. Lift and replace. And every rep, lift as high as you can. And take advantage of this leg grip to prevent rounding of the lower back. Rounding of the lower back. So push down to stay tall and grounded. And lift the heels. And I'm going to use my view in the camera here to see how consistent I can keep that spine angle and prevent rounding because of my tight hamstrings. 3 minutes there. Get yourself acquainted. Here, pushing down. So we have good support. 3 minutes, your own pace. Begin. Grabbing the leg, driving down to support the posture. And one leg at a time, straight at the knee, lifting. Using our mobility in the hamstring groups. Forcing some new strength in the hip flexors and deep abs. And major endurance in the lower back and the erectors of the spine that maintain this flat back posture. Those are going to be working this entire 3-minute interval. Nice and tall, chin up a little bit. And as much pressure as you need here, pressing down to support your lower back posture. If you're feeling great about it, you might want to let one go, or perhaps both. I instantly feel I lost range of motion in the hips, so I'm going to go back and take advantage of that table leg, give it a grip once more, pushing downward. Oh. Ooh. Tops of the thighs and that thigh to belly crease is really heating up, almost cramping for me. Of course, when we think the movement, the kayak movement, pulling, rowing, upper back, biceps, grip, all that stuff comes to mind first. But in reality, the lower back, hip, carriage is what tends to fatigue early, especially with the ocean style, open top kayaks, where there's no support strapping your legs down. And it's all about maintaining that pseudo boat pose, which is also fitting because we're in a boat, doing the boat. Get those legs higher with each rep, preventing the rounding of the lower back. Belly button up is in cement. You have 35 seconds. Keep cranking it, develop that new endurance. Higher, higher each time. Minimize lower back rounding. Stay tall. 15 seconds. Very nice. Definitely feeling it. Belly button forward, tall chest, long neck, and there's our 3 minutes. Oh, solid. 2 more moves of the exercise before we stretch. Now we need our foot-long object. Sock is nice because it doesn't act rigid unless we give it some of that traction. I'm going to hold it like my oar and pull out. Just enough. Look at this gorgeous sock, by the way. Oh my goodness. Those elks and snowflakes. And it's soft. Oh, very nice. Christmas will be here soon. I don't want to pull it too hard though, right? Because I love this sock. Obviously, you just saw me make sweet face rubbings with it. So I'm going to just keep it flexed enough to make it a straight line. I don't want to rip it in half. If I do, sorry sock. You're loved. Know that you're loved. I'm in the same spot. Now, I'm going to scoop myself back as far back as I can go and still be able to use the back of my hand to tap the leg. So obviously, I can go further. For the camera view's sake, I'm just going to push that table further forward. Still reachable, coming back. This is going to look different for all of us. If the hamstrings are tighter, we might be here still, and it might just be the perfect stretch. But if we can maintain the form and go further, let's go further. Scoot away. Still with the tall back, that was the requirement for this entire plan. Chest out. Forward and with the back of the knuckles. Tapping the leg. And I got it. That's a perfect distance for me. You find your perfect distance. If I went any further back, I would have to start rounding to get there. That means that ain't it. Now we're grabbing the object, pulling it wide, maintaining this. And I twist, stretch, tap the leg with the pinky side of the hand. Stretch the other way, tap it, stretch, tap it, stretch, tap it. Flat spine has to be your standard, otherwise this will not feel challenging. And make sure it's a bit of a reach too. If you have to scoot back further, so be it. 3 minutes begins now. Your own pace, tap, flat back, twist, belly button forward, tall chest, tall neck. Keep this sock taut, but don't rip it because it's precious, precious sock. What's coming to sensation first is a calf stretch for me. And I want you all to flex your toes up so we can get that calf stretch. Make sure the knees are locked straight with quad tension. Right here. And if you don't feel a hamstring stretch, step one should be arch the lower back more, flatter back. If you still don't feel a hamstring stretch, step two would be scooting your butt further away from the table. Endurance, coordination, and flexibility around the hips and lower back. That is the aim today. Feel it, connect with it. Try to sense where you're getting challenged. The arms are starting to feel heavy too. Just keeping them out like that. And we're going to build upon that for the final exercise. Definitely heavy arms as we just passed halfway. Breathing big, flat back. And keep those arms up. You got to have delt endurance to do this game. We're going to be going for miles and miles. Ride the waves, baby. "35 seconds remain. Hang in there. "10 seconds. Flex the quads. Commit to hamstring flexibility. It's very important. Relax. Oh, heavy arms. Heavy, heavy arms. Good with the sock. Well, thank the sock. Thank you. Grab your 1 ounce pour now, that shot glass. Fill it with whatever you want, but make sure there's something in there, some fluid, so that we have to be stable and precise. I don't want you to move any closer to the leg with this one. We need to force a little extra flexibility. So I'm going to stay exactly where I was, where I could reach. And the final task for 3 minutes will be pass that glass around the leg of the table with the quads flexed, with the flat back. Minimal spilling. And you see, it's just out of my reach. So I'm just barely rounding the back to get there. It's perfect. We just want it to be right on the edge, right on the fence of where we can go beyond. Of course, if your back is really rounding, and you'll have to check me on that, then we'll have to move forward and go a little closer to the leg. 3 minutes of passing the shot glass, filled with a little bit of fluid. I'll tell you when to switch directions if you want, halfway. Begins now. And each pass, my main focus is on keeping that lower back flexed. tall chest. The more full the shot glass, the better, of course. Increase the stakes. And let's go ahead and screw the changing direction because I'm just switching at every single rep. Left to right, right to left. It's kind of fun to make some rings though. All the way around, all the way around. Do what you want, have fun with it, but keep the quads flexed, keep the lower back erect. Try a couple of those rings, kind of fun. Flex the quads, flex the tibialis, so the toes are up. Halfway. Woo, gotta get out of that. Arms are getting heavy. Lower back is getting majorly fatigued. Hamstrings are feeling the new levels of flexibility that we're forcing upon them. 1 minute remains. Stick with me. Let's crack our body into new zones of capability. And we know a part of that process is a significant amount of discomfort. We should be going through it right now. Ooh, that back. 30 seconds. Let's do one continuous circle, 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 circle for the final 30 seconds. Stick with me. We've come this far. Very impressive. This will be the end of our exercise, and then we stretch the hip flexors. We're gonna need that stretch. 7 seconds. Keep making the circles. Flatten the back, flex the quads, toes up, and relax. Cheers. Down the hash. Wow. All the way up the spine. Those 2 pipes are wreck your spine, and quite a bit in the hip flexors too. You need a soft surface, so I've brought a pillow. You can stack up a blanket, whatever you want to do. We're going to put the knee on it. We've got our Captain Morgan from the knees, hip flexor stretch. I'll keep the table there. Pillow's about 1 foot behind the table. And I'll start by putting my left knee down on the pillow. And then watch that foot laces down. Climb up on the table for help. I'm bringing this right leg now way forward, way deep. Another little detail. This booty cheek, flex it, turn it on. Imagine pushing that leg behind you. And then this front leg is going to crawl as we sit into it. Oh, and I think I need some more padding, so I'm going to double up. 2 pillows. My knee already didn't like that. Much better. Laces down. Walk forward with the leg. Use the table for help. Support the upper body. The goal is to flex this booty cheek, push the front side of the hip as far forward as possible, and then arch to hit the deep abs too, hit the psoas. The further forward this leg is, the better. And support your upper body on that table. 1 minute per leg, and then we're off on the rest of our day. Laces down, begin. The more we can drag ourselves forward, the better. And I've got a lot of my upper body weight on this table here. And once more, if we can connect with that, give it a little flex, Even better. That's going to crack our hip flexor into an even deeper stretch degree. 30 seconds in. More arching, more looking up. Wow. Definitely needed this hip flexor stretch after all that work we did. Deep in the flexors, 10 seconds left. And then we'll hit the other side. And slowly retract. Get out of it. I'll reset. Now we switch sides. Put the other knee, like so. Walk that opposite leg way up. Watch the back foot. The laces go down. Ooh, little knee cracking. The further forward we can bring that leg and the more we can drag the body, the better. I got my forearms on the table for support. Make it nice and easy. So all I have to do is focus on that hip flexor on my right side. 1 minute begins now. Nice and tall. With this front leg, we're curling, we're dragging ourselves forward to traction the back leg's hip joint. And I'm so excited to hit the water and get this kayak work. I invite you to join me if you're in LA and you want to become a Nomad member. It's going to be advanced, it's going to be long, and we need to work well in a group. One of those things, just like our winter trip to Mount Baldy Summit, we got to be chill under pressure. We have to be able to cheer each other up. Relax. We have to respond to stress and difficulty with clarity, calmness, an open mind, and a sense of humor. And that's exactly what we should be doing right now during this difficult stay-at-home situation. So learn from life how to approach this kayak trip, and we're going to learn from this kayak trip how to approach life. Deep, deep. Don't forget, love your socks, okay? Love your socks. Oh. I kind of like it. All right.